Well, I think it's important that we reflect the context in which Senor Dastis has said this. He has said to the Financial Times, in I think remarkably consistent language, exactly the same thing that he said to Agence France Presse on the 8th of February in the interview he gave them. And in fact, the position of Mr. Dastis on this subject, on the airport, is almost identical to the position taken by Senor Moratinos and the position taken by successive Spanish governments since 1987. Indeed, the things that Senor Dastis said to the Financial Times about the airport are in keeping with the agreement entered into by the former administration in Gibraltar, the GSD, the former administration in Spain, the PSOE, and the former administration in the United Kingdom, the Labour Party, in respect of the arrangements for the airport, and that's the agreement done at Cordoba in 2006.
Now, there are different words here used at different times. There's joint control of the airport, joint use of the airport, and now joint management of the airport. What do you understand the nuances to be in terms of these phrases?
Gibraltar has stuck consistently in saying that we would look forward to enhanced use of the airport, but not any concept of joint control. Now, the question of commercial management was the question that was for the government of Gibraltar in 2006 acceptable and led to Gibraltar being a party to the Cordoba Agreement, which specifically set out how all of the management of passengers, of baggage, of aircraft timetabling, of all of the aspects of what is the running of a commercial airport would be dealt with in the context of a joint company with Spanish and Gibraltarian interests, subject to EU rules. That's what the former GSD administration agreed, and they described as an agreement that would lead to enhanced use of the airport. I seem to recall Mr. Catano was always at pains to say that what the agreements provided for, as far as he was concerned, was enhanced use, not shared or joint use.
Do you believe that the UK and Spain have discussed this issue bilaterally?
Well, it's very clear that the United Kingdom is talking bilaterally to 27 other member states. I mean, the United Kingdom has said so.
But not all of them regarding Gibraltar.
No, indeed. But to many of them regarding Gibraltar, not just to one. So Gibraltar is a feature of the bilateral relationships that the UK is now exploiting with its 27 existing EU partners as it seeks to shape its future relationship with the EU. With Spain, Gibraltar is one of the agenda items. It is with others. Of course, with Spain, Gibraltar is more relevant than in any other discussion. As we know, Spain puts Gibraltar on the agenda there for reasons which are unrelated to what we might consider to be the normal practical issues that arise. So we know that these things are happening because Spain is putting them on the agenda. We get told what has been put on the agenda, we feed back what our views are, and our principal view is that Gibraltar must be involved in any discussion involving any aspect of the future application of the acquis or the future shape of the relationship between the EU and Gibraltar, insofar in particular as it relates to Spain because of the sovereignty claim. And that's where we are on this subject.
Another thing that Mr. Dastis said was that he would be happy for Gibraltar to form part of the negotiating team as part of the UK delegation. Now, this isn't the same thing as the Trilateral Forum, where Gibraltar had its own separate voice.
But that's a separate issue. You see, the Trilateral is about aspects beyond the EU. It was about a lot of issues. This is about the relationship of one member state, the United Kingdom, with the other member states. And Gibraltar has always regarded itself, indeed, Gibraltar has always protected itself by seeing itself as part of the member state United Kingdom. So the idea that Gibraltarians form part of UK delegations is not something that's been raised by Mr. Dastis. It was raised by the government of Gibraltar in the context, you may recall, of the agreements that David Cameron was doing in respect of the renegotiation. But politically, the only person who can represent the government of Gibraltar is a politician elected by the people of Gibraltar, and we won't accept that the position should be otherwise. And when it comes to actual full engagement in an administration as shrunken as the administration in Gibraltar is in terms of political responsibility and official responsibility, it has to, of course, be a relevant Gibraltar minister that will be involved in decision-making discussions or negotiations in respect of any part of the future relationship with the European Union.